See this
All
works.
right.
Okay, welcome to the Team Fuller Zoom who are not here tonight, so we'll call it the Huntsman Zoom. But we want to welcome all that made it, and we've got an awesome presentation tonight from my cute little nephew, Justin. He's executive director, and he's really been conscious of his health last year, and I'd like him to he can tell his story, but he's going to give us all some great pointers tonight. So, Justin, go ahead.
Sweet. Thanks to my cute Aunt Christine. So, yeah, my personal story isn't huge. I mean, I just, a few years ago, I was always an athlete, always loved working out, always was pretty darn active, but my eating habits were terrible. I wasn't raised with the right kind of eating habits, didn't learn them on my own. Before I knew it, I'd been married 5 years and had gained an average of about 15 pounds per year and was pretty big. And I was thinking, what in the world is going on here? Because I hit the gym every single day. I figure if I work out real hard, everything just works out. I can eat what I want. I can have what I want. I can do what I want because I work out hard. Well, it wasn't until I pursued my education, sought after some resources and some other individuals that were pretty influential in helping me with my nutrition and my diet. I dialed that in, and within about 7 months, I ended up losing close to 70 pounds, and I entered a bodybuilding competition. So that was kind of a bucket list of mine. Ended up walking away with a trophy, which I was pretty proud of. But that was kind of my journey, and very unique to this. I actually did it 100% organically. I, at that time, was not aware of Take Shape for Life or MetaFast. And so I was one of the few that bought the food, shopped for the food, found the recipes, cooked it, portion sized it, followed through with the plan. And it was hard. It was very, very difficult. But then after I went through it, obviously Christine Huntsman and her husband Troy had been doing this for a while, but I wasn't quite sure even what it was. And then some of my family members were doing it, and I started looking at it and asking questions, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it follows the exact same principles of everything I've already been doing, but it's easier. It's a lot easier. What was I doing if there was something like this out there? And so I quickly got involved and have been enjoying it. And so my approach as a coach is just a little bit different, I think, because of that experience. When I walk into a room, I look at every single person in that room, and every single one of them eats food. And every single one of them, more often than not, has some sort of protein powder or protein bars in their pantry of some sort. Whether they bought it on their own, whether they went to GNC, whether they order it online from bodybuilding.com, whatever it is, most people have big old bags, big old tubs from Costco, Sam's Club, wherever, of protein powder. And so my opinion is what we have literally applies to everybody. It doesn't just have to be the 5-in-1 program. It doesn't even have to be a 3-in-3 program. I've got tons of clients that I've signed up that all they have is 2 or 3 boxes of bars that show up every single month, and that's all they need. That's all they want. I don't push them for anything else, but it's what applies to absolutely everybody. So I think if you go about your day thinking, hey, what about this person? What about that person? When you have conversations, just say, hey, just let me send you a couple boxes of bars. Just let me send you some. And normally if they order a couple boxes, they don't ever stop ordering. And it's not aggressive. They're people you don't have to follow up with really and monitor and require time. And when they're ready to do more or understand more, reach. But as a coach, I do a lot with face-to-face. I do a lot out and about working, running into people in certain places, working out of the gym. I haven't been able to fully take advantage of social media like I probably should. But all of the success and all the clients that I have gained has been through just rubbing shoulders with them, talking to them face to face. And the biggest thing that's really helped me has been a 30-second commercial. And a 30-second commercial can either be known as an elevator speech, a cocktail speech, whatever it might be. And a couple really important things about commercials, or a 30-second commercials, is all this TV. There's the Super Bowl, just browsing through the channels, whatever it is. The thing with a commercial is it has to be engaging. If it's not engaging, it doesn't matter if it's 10 seconds or 60 seconds. You're looking for the remote and you're going to change the channel. If it immediately grabs your attention and it's engaging, you'll sit there and you'll watch it and you'll listen to it and it might spur some interest. Well, that's kind of like your own personal commercial. So when you bump into somebody, chances are it wasn't predetermined. It wasn't a planned event or meeting. It was just, circumstances brought you together. You're in the grocery store, you're at the gym, you just kind of bumped into each other. So at that moment, you need to have your own personal 30-second commercial. And it does have to be engaging, just like a TV commercial. And the other thing is it has to be only 30 seconds. If you go beyond 30 seconds, they're going to say, holy cow, that's awesome, but I'm zoning out, and okay, great, that sounds great, whatever. They're just going to tell you what you want to hear. And so an example might be, hey, what's up? My name is Justin Tolman. I'm actually a health coach and nutritionist. And what I do is I really help people that want to add muscle mass, want to lose body fat percentage, want to level out their blood sugars, would like to work on diabetes, their nutrition levels for diabetes. I work with people that have sleep apnea, any questions with their thyroid, anything along those lines. And I love what I do. I've got my own personal experiences, and I understand because I've been on both sides of the coin. This week specifically, I'm actually looking for someone that is confined. That person can be confined to a wheelchair. That person can be confined to a bed, or they can be confined to their workspace desk, or even the seat of their truck if they travel a lot. I can really help a lot of people do well, even when they're inactive and not able to go to the gym. So do you know of anyone that might fit that criteria? And then you throw that back on them. And so it was engaging. It was right about 30 seconds or so, and it was specific. And so those are normally the three things that I like to focus on. And the thing that's specific really changes every single time I talk to somebody. I'm a part of a lot of networking groups, B&I chapters, and I rub shoulders with a lot of people where we're constantly trying to generate referrals for each other and each other's businesses. And so those are great places for you to be specific and just try and let them know that, hey, a perfect client for me this week would be anyone that has type 1, type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetic on metformin. Do you know anybody? Like, oh my gosh, I do. But when you're so broad and it just kind of throws that out to the entire population of all their networks and all their circle of influence, it's hard for them to pinpoint on somebody. So those are my real biggest pointers, is every single person you talk to needs this product. Chances are, if they're not buying it from you, they're already buying it from somewhere else or somebody else. It doesn't matter if it's the 5-in-1 or if it's a single box of bars or if it's a box of crunchers, whatever it is. Every single person needs it. And then always be ready. Always have that 30-second commercial ready. I mean, the first 15 seconds is real easy because it's who you are. It defines you. It's a part of what you do. It's your title. And it lets people know, oh, okay, that's what you are and that's what you do. And then after that, just be specific. You say, I don't know if there's anyone in your circle of influence that meet this criteria, because this week I'm specifically looking for these kind of people. Personal trainers, that are helping people work out and hit their goals, psychologists and hypnotherapists that work on eating disorders or even emotional triggers that cause people to go to the pantry and cope that way. Those would be a great referral for me this week. And those, honestly, you'll find that if you're at a sporting event with your kids, in the grocery store with your cart, or you're just with family on the weekends, hanging out with neighbors, you'll find that that little itty bitty 30-second commercial, you'll get better and better at it every single time. And it's engaging, it's specific, it's not very much time, it's only 30 seconds, so you're not taken away from anything. And you'll gain a lot. You'll gain more interest and more response by something small and little like that than just about anything else. And so those are the biggest things that I've noticed have worked really well for me. And those are a couple things that obviously John and Kat asked me to share on the Zoom. I don't know if any of you guys have any specific questions about that.
No, I love that. I love that a lot. That's one thing I notice about Troy, and maybe it's just a guy thing, but he's definitely one face on face. He loves to just go talk to people, face to face. I'm more of the Facebook, social media, dropping the hints there through the internet. So I love that, the new perspective on just approaching people. And don't you have a goal of talking to 3 people at the gym every day or something like that, or is that just dependent on the week?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I go enough that I'm a regular, and I see a lot of other regulars. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people there that they work pretty darn hard, but I haven't seen any change in them in several years. Yeah. And so I figure if I can, take 1 or 2 or even 3 a day and just, kind of reach out to them and just start a conversation briefly and kind of throw in a 15, 20-second commercial and leave my card, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know I've seen those people at the gym too, who I just feel so bad, especially there's these older, I remember specifically this older lady who could barely walk, but she was there every morning on the treadmill. And I was just like, I just didn't know how to approach it. But that's awesome though, that you just approach them, and because they're much better off since you've done that. So.
Yeah, and honestly, actually the last probably half a dozen people that I've approached in that kind of environment, I approached because I specifically felt like they personally needed my help. I guess I was kind of prejudging them by their appearance and things like that. But what I got out of them were referrals from other people that they knew that they felt like I could really help. Oh my God, my buddy has type 2 diabetes. He's my golfing buddy. We go all over the state all the time, and he can barely walk, and he needs the worst help. And I'm gonna give him your number, and here's his number, and it turns into someone else that they know because you're trying to be specific.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, you never know, do you? That's great.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. That was awesome. I love that. So you keep it. You're engaging. The 30-second commercial is short, engaging, and specific. Is that the 3 main things?
Yep. So keep it to 30 seconds. Always keep it engaging. And then how specific you are can change at any given moment, any given time, whoever you're talking to, whatever group you're a part of. Yeah. That's
great. Well, awesome. Thank you. Did you guys have any questions, Trish, and whoever else that is on the phone? I'm not sure who that is. So, well, cool. I'm going to stop recording now, and we'll